Three Detroit buddies, Rocky, Alex, and Money, enthusiastically break into the mansion of a wealthy family. When Alex quickly disables the security system, they start grabbing every valuable thing they can find. They then finish by throwing a rock through the glass door before escaping, causing the home alarm to go off. In the car, Rocky stares at the ladybug on her finger while talking to Money about leaving Detroit once they have enough funding. Alex seems unhappy about it, wondering when his friend is coming back. But Rocky tells him she's never returning to that place before asking him to come with them. However, Alex refuses to leave his father behind. When Alex finally gets home, he immediately heads into his father's office, making sure he isn't there. Then, Alex uses the spare key hidden in the lamp to open the drawer that contains all the information and house keys of his father's clients. His father works for a security company called Liminal, making it easier for Alex's gang to target rich families and break into their residences. Meanwhile, Money offers the stolen Rolex to his friend, Raul, in exchange for money, but the guy doesn't pay him enough. Raul tells Money to steal cash if he wants to earn more, but Money is reluctant. Instead of leaving Money to his business, Raul shares with him where he can score a big deal. The following day, Money immediately informs his friends about their next target. He tells them about Norman Nordstrom, a military veteran who lives alone after his daughter died in a car accident. The wealthy family who accidentally killed his daughter has given him a considerable amount of settlement, making Money believe that the old man has more than $300,000 in cash concealed somewhere in his house. Rocky is on board with the plan, hoping it would be their last robbery, but Alex is opposed to the scheme and reminds them that they don't do cash. Alex is worried they might get caught, saying they'll be charged with major larceny and spend 10 years in prison, but his friends won't hear him. As Rocky and Money try to encourage him, Alex firmly refuses to join them before walking out. That night, Rocky begs Alex through text, asking for his help so she can move to California with her younger sister. Feeling bad, Alex does some research on Nordstrom, learning that he's reached a six-figure settlement. In a small apartment, Rocky lives with her younger sister, Diddy, their abusive mother, Ginger, and Trevor, her mother's lover. All Ginger cares about is spending time with her boyfriend, leaving Rocky to care for her little sister. Fed up with their poor situation, Rocky promises Diddy that she will get them both out of there as soon as possible so that they may start a new life in California. Rocky then receives a message from Alex, telling her they'll do the robbery. Later that day, Money scouts the blind man's neighborhood. Meanwhile, in the car, Alex notices Rocky's new ladybug tattoo. She reveals that her father had abandoned them when she was a child, and her mother has always blamed her for it. Rocky would always cry because she missed her father, so her mother would lock her up in the trunk of her car. One time, a ladybug flew into the trunk and kept Rocky company, making her feel safe. Rocky then says she'll color her tattoo in California, promising that it will be the last time she'll ever mark her body. After intently listening to his friend, Alex tells Rocky that he will go with them to California. As they talk, Money finally returns and informs them it will be easy to rob Nordstrom and flee because the houses surrounding his place aren't occupied. Since there are no people, there will be no patrol, too. Money is excited since he believes the robbery will be a piece of cake. But his good mood is ruined when an aggressive Rottweiler jumps on the car door, frightening them. The dog is then called by its owner, Nordstrom, who they eventually realize is blind. Alex feels guilty about robbing a sightless man, but Money doesn't care about it and decides they're doing the job that night. Rocky and her friends show up at Nordstrom's neighborhood at 2 o'clock in the morning. They then quietly approach the man's house, making sure to drug the dog first before they break in. After their unsuccessful attempts to open the front and back doors, Rocky decides to get inside the house through the bathroom window instead. She then hurriedly disables the security alarm, looking around in silence and seeing Nordstrom's daughter's photograph before heading for the door. Meanwhile, Money notices that Alex is too concerned for Rocky, mocking and warning him to keep his distance from his girlfriend. Finally, Rocky opens the door for them, and once they remove their shoes, the trio starts searching the house for the money. Being impatient, Money sneaks into Nordstrom's room upstairs and discovers him sleeping while an old video of his daughter plays on the television. Money smiles as he watches Nordstrom sleep, unaware that the man has a gun hidden under his bed. Then, Money prepares a sleeping gas and punches a hole through its bottle, disturbing the sleeping veteran and causing him to sit upright. However, he just turns off the television and goes back to sleep. Relieved, Money gasses the room before leaving, ensuring that the man will have a deeper sleep. Later on, Rocky shows them a locked door, assuming that's where the cash is. Money then tries and fails to open it using a crowbar, so he pulls out a gun instead and intends to use it, worrying Alex that they're giving Nordstrom the legal right to shoot them. Scared, Alex urges Rocky to leave with him, but Rocky is determined to see what's behind that door. Using a water bottle as a silencer, Money shoots the padlock and breaks it, prompting Alex to bail on them. Money is delighted to be able to open the door finally, but his joy is short-lived when the blind man suddenly appears, demanding to know who's in his house. Money and Rocky back away slowly, with Rocky telling the man he's drunk and accidentally wandered into his home. But when Nordstrom steps on the broken padlock, Money threatens him with the gun and declares he's not leaving until he gets what's in the room. Unfortunately, the blind man is not intimidated and tries to calm Money down, so Money fires a warning shot to stop Nordstrom from coming towards him. However, that doesn't stop the blind man from approaching him and eventually pinning him against the wall. Being a veteran, Nordstrom easily subdues Money and asks him if he's got company, but Money lies and says it's only him before begging the man to spare his life. Rocky can only watch in horror as everything unfolds in front of her, and she doesn't even manage to shout when Nordstrom decides to shoot Money. Frightened, Rocky hides in the closet and cries quietly as the blind man punches the wall in frustration. Meanwhile, Alex returns to the house upon hearing the gunshot, almost bumping into Nordstrom in the hallway. On the other hand, Nordstrom picks up a broken piece of glass on the floor before once again barricading the door and bathroom window. From the closet, Rocky tells Alex through text that the blind man has killed Money, also informing him she's in the closet when he asks where she is. Rocky then tries to leave her hiding spot, but she is forced to crawl back to the closet when the blind man appears and joins her there. Unaware that he's not alone, Nordstrom opens his vault behind the wall, and upon closing it, Rocky luckily sees its passcode. Finally, Alex locates Rocky and immediately informs her to call the cops before the old man does. However, Rocky stops him and opens the vault to get the money, surprising Alex with the amount Nordstrom has been hiding there. They then plan to escape through the storm cellar, and as they leave the closet, the blind man comes out of the room that leads to the basement and starts disposing of Money's body. The intruders are doing a fine job of quietly backing away, but Nordstrom is alerted and points the gun into the open space when Alex makes a noise. With no other choice, Alex and Rocky stand perfectly still and hold their breath until Nordstrom finally puts the gun down. But Nordstrom is once again disturbed by Money's ringing phone and shoots it, and once he turns it off, he resumes dragging Money's body away. While Rocky and Alex look for a way out, the blind man smells and discovers that there's more than one pair of shoes by the door. He then immediately checks his vault, enraged upon learning that his money is gone. In the basement, Alex and Rocky continue searching for the cellar door but find Cindy Roberts instead, the woman who accidentally killed Nordstrom's daughter. She is bound and gagged, and her struggles trip the alarm that the blind man has set up. After Cindy shows the newspaper clipping that states she's been found innocent of vehicular manslaughter, Rocky convinces a hesitant Alex to help her. Cindy then points to a safe, so Alex hurriedly opens it using the same passcode from the vault upstairs and takes the keys inside. Meanwhile, the blind man is already on the move to catch them. After a few attempts, Alex finally unlocks the cuff that binds Cindy to a harness, and together they all head for the cellar door. Alex then uses the keys to unlock the door, and as he opens it, the blind man is already waiting for them outside. Without warning, Nordstrom fires multiple shots, grazing Alex's ear and hitting Cindy in the face. Rocky and Alex quickly hide when Cindy falls dead on the floor, and the blind man can only scream in agony once he realizes what he's done. Desperate, Alex tells Rocky they need to return upstairs since they have the keys to the main entrance. All the while, the blind man ensures that the cellar door will remain locked. Rocky and Alex then run for the stairs as Nordstrom fires at them. But when the blind man turns off the lights, the two friends feel completely helpless. In the dark, Nordstrom shoots whenever he hears a sound, only to miss them every time. The two friends are also separated from each other, and Rocky almost touches the blind man. Luckily, the blind man gets distracted when Alex calls Rocky's name, causing the old man to fire another shot. Nordstrom then catches Alex and tries shooting him in the head. But when Alex realizes he's run out of bullets, he uses all his strength to push a shelf down on the blind man. With Nordstrom now trapped, Rocky and Alex finally make their way upstairs. There, Alex uses the crowbar to seal the door, only to realize the old man's dog is already awake and in the hallway. With their time running out, Alex instructs Rocky to open the front door using the keys while he tries to calm the dog. However, the dog gets startled when the blind man rattles the door leading to the basement, chasing the intruders into a bedroom. Rocky and Alex use a cabinet to barricade the bedroom, and with the keys gone, they must look for another way out. Unfortunately, all the windows in that room are sealed, too. Meanwhile, Nordstrom heads to his bedroom and retrieves his other gun. In the room, Rocky and Alex argue about pressing a panic button that would call 911. Alex is sure the cops will leave them alone and focus their attention on the man who has kidnapped Cindy and killed Money, but Rocky refuses since they won't get the money once the authorities find out. As they talk, the blind man suddenly shoots the door, so Alex orders Rocky to escape through the vent. Unfortunately, Alex fails to hold the door closed, and when the dog eventually gets in, it attacks Alex and causes him to crash and fall out the window. He then lands on a skylight that's about to shatter, unconscious and unaware that the old man is still searching for him. After a while, Alex regains consciousness and carefully rolls over to his side. But the blind man realizes he's there and shoots the glass, sending him falling to the ground. Although he's injured, Alex tries to press the panic button, but Nordstrom finds him again and shoots him. Alex then hides in a room filled with the blind man's tools, discovering that that's where Money's body is. Then, Nordstrom realizes where Alex is and goes there to shoot him. But Alex attacks him first. Alex and Nordstrom engage in a struggle, but the veteran eventually subdues Alex and punches him in the face until he's out cold. For the final blow, Nordstrom uses a garden shear to impale Alex, only to hit Money instead. Meanwhile, the dog follows Rocky through the vent, forcing her to jump into a small space and pass out. When she regains consciousness, she attempts to exit the vent that leads outside the house, only to be pulled by the blind man back to the living room. There, Rocky tries her best to fight back, but the blind man is too strong and knocks her out by strangulation. Later on, Rocky wakes up in the basement and realizes she's taken Cindy's place as the blind man's prisoner. Rocky tries sympathizing with Nordstrom, but the old man isn't swayed. He then reveals that Cindy is pregnant, carrying his unborn child that will replace the one he's lost. With Cindy and the baby gone, Nordstrom is determined to hold Rocky accountable for it. Meanwhile, a severely beaten Alex wakes up and picks up a hammer before successfully locking the dog in a room. He then makes sure to unlock the front door before looking for Rocky. In the basement, Nordstrom puts Cindy's body in a tub and covers it with tar before burying it underneath the tiles. He also reveals to Rocky that he's never forced himself on Cindy, adding that he'd promised he'd let her go once she gave birth. Tired of waiting, Nordstrom cuts a hole in Rocky's pants and prepares to artificially inseminate her using a baster. Rocky struggles as Nordstrom is about to put his seed into her, but Alex suddenly appears and attacks the blind man from behind. Alex quickly releases Rocky and cuffs Nordstrom to the harness that he's used to hold Rocky, and as soon as Rocky lays eyes on the blind man, she can't help herself but hit him. Now free to go, Alex takes the money and tells Rocky they can no longer involve the cops. Angry, Nordstrom demands they get out of his house since they already have what they came for, and the two friends don't need to be told twice. However, as soon as Alex opens the front door, Nordstrom shows up and shoots him in the back, instantly killing him. Now alone, Rocky quickly runs outside and is chased by the blind man's dog to her car, where she accidentally leaves her bag containing the cash outside. Thinking of a way to retrieve the bag, Rocky puts down the seat at the back and opens the trunk in an attempt to trap the dog, and once it's inside, she quickly closes it using a strap. However, the dog manages to get inside the car, forcing Rocky to use the strap to restrain the animal. She then gets out of the car to get her bag, but just when she thinks everything's over, the blind man arrives and knocks her out once more. The blind man mercilessly drags Rocky back to his house, where she quietly apologizes to Alex's dead body. However, she suddenly gets the strength to do something when she sees a ladybug on her finger and decides to activate the security system. Distracted by the loud sound, Nordstrom fails to shoot Rocky, who keeps on attacking him with a crowbar from behind. He then almost catches Rocky when the alarm finally stops. But Rocky doesn't waste any time and repeatedly hits the blind man in the head until he falls into the basement, causing his gun to go off and shoot him in the side. Rocky gives Nordstrom one last look before closing the door and taking the money, fleeing the house before the cops arrive. A few days later, Rocky sits with Diddy in a cafe at Detroit Airport, ready to leave their old lives behind. She then learns from the news that the blind man is still alive, making her feel bad that the news anchor refers to her friends as burglars. With nothing else to do, Rocky takes her sister's hand and prepares to board their plane. Film ends. Thanks for watching. Bye.